Okay, so yesterday we multiplied fractions, so today we are going to do the opposite, which is divide fractions. Our fraction yesterday included variables, so they are obviously going to include variables. So anytime we're dividing fractions, we do not need common denominator. But we do two things. We keep the first one, change our sign, and then what do we do with the second one? Flip it. I want to use a dot instead of that. Sorry. So we flip the second. So now it's exactly like yesterday's. If you can cross cancel. We have x's that'll cancel. 2 will go into both 2 and 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So on the top, we're left with 1 times 2. On the bottom, we're left with 1, which we don't need with the variable. Y times y is y squared. So there's our simplified answer. So obviously, we're going to get into ones where we have to do some factoring, though, like yesterday. So it's 18 over x squared minus 25 divided by 24 over x plus 5. They did not put parentheses, but let's put parentheses anytime you have a binomial. So first step, I would go ahead and flip that second one before we worry about any factoring. So now let's go ahead and start factoring. Difference of 2 squares. So we could rewrite this as x minus 5, x plus 5. So that part's gone. Now we can start canceling. X plus 5, x plus 5. It goes away. Well, we'll go into both 18 and 24. 6 will go in. So 18 divided by 6 is 3. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So on the top, all we're left with is 3. On the bottom, we have this 4, and we have x minus 5. All right, so let's do one where we'll have to factor a couple times. There it is. All right, so these are the ones we're going to start getting more and more into, where that's all 4 parts, we can do something. So it's longer. I'm not going to lie about that. So let's flip first. Change to multiply, flip the second one. So we flip the second, we change that to multiply. So we need to look at each part individually. So I'm going to erase this just so we've got some room. Erase the original problem. Let's look at this one. Factors of 10, that's subtract to be positive 3. 2 and 5, or 5 minus 2. That gets us positive 3. So we could rewrite that as x plus 5, x minus 2. Right. This one, any way we could factor it. Anything common in both parts? 2. We get x plus 3. Now, factors of 12, that subtract to be negative 1. So 3 minus 4 will get us negative 1. So x plus 3, x minus 4. Okay, and then on the bottom, we have the difference and we have 2 squares. We have x plus 2, x minus 2. Now we can start canceling things that are common. We have x minus 2. We have x plus 3. Anything else? That looks to be it. So we can rewrite it, x plus 5, x minus 4. We have a 2, and we have x plus 2. Make sure. It's really helpful to cross things out. That way you see what is left. Okay? In the book, you might see it one of 2 ways. This way is perfectly acceptable. If you FOIL it out, they might also have this as your answer. Okay. So either of these are the exact same thing. I would leave it this way personally, because then it is all factored down and you can see, is there anything else I could cancel? All right, one last type. Okay, so we have one where we were raising everything to a power. Let's work with that power first, and then we'll worry about the rest of these. So we get 2x cubed, y cubed, but we have to do this to both parts. What is 2 cubed? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and we x cubed over y cubed. Okay. Now we change that to multiplication and flip this one. Do we need to flip this last one? It is multiplying, so no, we don't need to divide or flip, so we leave it as it is. Now, you can basically cancel from wherever. So we have x's will cancel. 4 could go into 8. So we get 4 goes into 8 2 times. That's the left. X squared can go into x cubed and make that x, or excuse me, y. Y squared can go into y cubed and make it just y. So all these are canceled. We're left with 2 and x cubed. And we're left with y. There's nothing else is there. So again, try, especially on the previous problems, try and factor as far down as you can to start. It'll make the problem much, much easier. So on 256, 257, (11 to 27 odd and 35). So 11, 27 odd, and then 35. 35 has 2 parts, so basically it's 2 problems.